Look, to be honest, when I first saw this movie, I also wondered for a moment, I wish I had powers like this. I mean, you think about it. I'm a normal person. I've never fought with anyone in my personal life. And after getting such powers, I turn into a superhuman. How great would that be? My whole world would change if I got powers like that. Honestly, the first thing I'd do is get a great girlfriend. This movie was released in 2017, and the name of the movie is iBoy. And this movie mostly seems like AI supercomputing. Basically, it's a science fiction movie. So let's start the movie. The movie begins, and we see a boy named Tom who lives with his grandmother in America. Currently, he was in his room, working on his desktop. Suddenly, Tom hears loud music coming from outside his room, and he was getting disturbed by that music system. To avoid it, he puts on headphones and continues his work. Then, in the morning, he was going to school. And on the way, he meets his friend, Danny. Then, they both reach school. After finishing school, Tom was returning home when his crush calls out to him from behind. Tom gets completely flustered, seeing his crush, Lucy, so close to him, and he was so nervous that he couldn't even talk to her properly. Just then, the naughtiest boy in the class walks past him and taunts Tom, saying, "Go on, loser, can't even talk properly to a girl." Then, Lucy responds to the naughty boy, saying, "Stop your nonsense and get out of here." Then, Lucy tells Tom, "I must admit, you're quite good at studies." Lucy also tells Tom that their exams are coming up soon, and she needs his help with projects. "So, will you help me?" Tom quickly says yes without thinking. "Why not? I'll definitely help you." Then we see that Tom lives alone at home with his grandmother. He doesn't live with his parents because they passed away in a car accident when Tom was very young. Tom tells his grandmother, "I need to go to my friend's house to study. Can I go?" His grandmother says yes. And then we see that Tom has reached his friend Lucy's house, and he sees something there that leaves him shocked. He thinks, "What is going on here? Seriously?" Because Tom sees that the door to Lucy's house is open, and her crush's brother is lying unconscious on the floor, looking like he just got into a fight. Before Tom could understand anything, some boys were exiting Lucy's room, making a video, and they were wearing masks, so Tom couldn't recognize them. One of the boys notices Tom and starts chasing him. Tom starts running away to save his life. Then one of the gangsters takes out his gun and fires a bullet towards Tom for fear that Tom might call the police. But the bullet touches Tom's phone and passes very close to his head. Then we are shown the nervous system of a human brain, in which some waves were flowing very fast, meaning some signal-like thing was moving with very high activity. Then we see a doctor telling Tom that he has been in this bed for quite some time. And when he was at his friend Lucy's house, the bullet that passed close to his head damaged his phone, and some of its parts have entered his brain. We tried hard to remove them through surgery, but doing so could be very dangerous, as it could damage a lot of your brain's nervous system, which could put you in a coma. However, when we did a proper CT scan and many tests of your brain's reaction was seen as normal in all of them. That's why we didn't take this dangerous decision. But if you see anything abnormal, come back to the hospital quickly. Then Tom asks, "Where's my friend Lucy? How is she?" His grandmother tells him that she is perfectly fine and is currently at her home. And when Tom was returning home with his grandmother, he notices a surprising thing. He notices that he could easily see the text on the digital meter in the taxi. He had never experienced this before. It felt as if everything was happening inside his mind. But this was new to him, so he didn't mention it to his grandmother either. But the words visible on the digital meter looked very clear and good to him. It felt as if all of it was happening inside his mind. And when he goes home and sleeps, he still sees an electronic field. It felt as if he was seeing everything right in front of him. At breakfast, his grandmother tells him that when he went to Lucy's house, the goons who came there tried to force themselves on Lucy. She was also in the hospital for about 7 days. You should go and talk to her once. So Tom says, "I should have saved her at that moment, but I myself ran away from there." His grandmother says, "Look, anyone else in your place would have done the same. Anyway, don't think about it too much. Go and talk to her." And when Tom goes down to buy flowers from the flower shops to go to Lucy's house, he can clearly hear the voice of a girl standing nearby who's talking on the phone. While going up in the elevator, he meets a boy named Eugene and Gunshot, whom he felt he had seen somewhere. Seeing them, Tom thinks that he must have seen them somewhere. Anyway, he doesn't pay much attention to those things and reaches Lucy's house, where he first meets her brother, who was also in a bad condition because the goons had punched him and all. Then, Tom's eyes fall on her Wi-Fi, where he can clearly see the signals, who connected to it, and at what time after coming to this house. He also sees a signal named Bad Boy, but he ignores it and goes into Lucy's room. Talking to Lucy, he finds out that there were about 4 boys who came to force her and make a video of her, and they looked somewhat intoxicated as well. "But it was good that you came on time. If you hadn't come home at that moment, they might have done something worse to me. I'm sorry they shot you, but the good thing is that your life was saved." After hearing all this, when Tom comes back home, he can see the waves, signals, and networks coming out of the electronic devices around his house, which were completely visible right in front of his eyes. And when he pulls back the curtain of his house, he can see the entire city's network. Seeing so many signals, his own signal gets messed up, and he falls unconscious. The next morning, when he gets ready and leaves for school, he tells his best friend Danny all these things. That nowadays he is seeing all the signals and everything. So Danny says, "These are all baseless things. It seems that because of the injury you got on your head is spinning." But how was he to know that everything Tom was saying was true? In fact, all the signals, or rather, the proper visuals of all the children sitting on the bus and using their mobile phones, were visible to Tom. Danny, whose mobile had a map open, could see it clearly. Then Danny asks him, "There's a party tonight where a lot of kids from our class are coming. Will you come?" Tom says yes to him. And when he reaches his classroom, he sees that all the children are either playing a game on their mobile, listening to songs, or reading the news. And then the same elevator boy, Eugene, has the same video on his phone that was made that night. In this video, all 4 people who were present at Lucy's house that day were captured. Tom gets very angry about these things, and he heats up his phone with his powers, causing Eugene's phone to burst. The scene shifts to night, where Tom was invited to a party by his best friend Danny. Besides Danny, there were other boys present at this party, and Eugene, whose phone had the video, was also among these boys. Tom now knew that Eugene was the main link in this whole incident, which is why he starts staring at him angrily. Then Eugene gets angry and comes forward to fight him. But then Danny intervenes and stops their fight, saying, "Man, I called you here to enjoy a party, and you're causing trouble here." Tom feels it's best to leave from there. But as he goes further down the road, he starts receiving messages from Lucy. Here, he was replying through the visuals that appeared in front of his eyes on his screen, without picking up his phone or opening any laptop. They have a conversation. Is he free? Can they meet on the terrace in the evening? To which Lucy also says yes. And then they meet on the terrace, where Tom says, "You didn't come to school." To which Lucy replies that she is afraid to come to school these days. Tom says, "Now the exams are also coming up. If you live in fear, how will you take the exam?" To which Lucy also laughs and says yes, and agrees to come to school the next day. Meanwhile, while sleeping at night, Tom checks many websites using his powers, where he starts seeing videos on how to hack a mobile. And the next morning, Eugene's best friend, Shotgun, completely hacks his mobile. They basically go to a drug mafia to get some packets of drugs, but the person sitting in the car distanced Gunshot and said that he would only talk to Eugene. "You go away too." Now, basically, Tom had only hacked Gunshot's mobile, due to which he could not hear what was being talked about between Eugene and the mafia. And whatever Gunshot was doing at night, he captures all those videos with his mind. The next morning, when the principal is giving a speech at the assembly in the entire school, Tom makes a video of Gunshot go viral on the projector, where he was watching porn. Hearing this, his friends start laughing at him, and it becomes an awkward moment. After this, Tom reaches Lucy's house and tells her, "Do you know that a video of a boy watching porn at school went viral today?" Well, these small jokes cheer Lucy up a bit. Now, on one hand, Tom was sending message after message to Lucy as an unknown person with the help of his mind, saying, "I'm an iBoy who knows who did wrong to you, and I will teach all of them a lesson." Along with these things, he also asks Lucy if she has a boyfriend, to which Lucy says, "Not currently," to which Tom says to himself, "Can we go out for a walk?" And when they go out, Lucy unburdens her heart. They spend a very nice time together. They visit other small places in the city, and when they are about to return after their outing, Eugene and his other friends block their way in the middle of the road and tell Lucy, "We found out that someone tried to do something wrong to you a few days ago. Don't worry, Lucy. We've known you since childhood. We are your neighbors, so we will definitely find that bad boy." The situation was getting a little tricky when Tom uses his powers to send a message to all their phones. Wrong guy, meaning Tom is not the guy they're looking for. Because until now, the thought had somehow crossed their minds that the one sending them all the messages and listening to their conversations must be Tom. Well, Lucy feels very bad about these things and goes to her room to sleep. But now, Tom's mind was set, and he wanted to teach all of them a lesson to take revenge. In the meantime, these four boys were about to steal a car to spice up their night, but this is where they make the biggest mistake, because Tom takes control of the car, which already had an integrated circuit. He locks the car doors and talks to them through the radio, saying, "Were you the ones who did bad things to Lucy that night and were going to make a video of her go viral in public?" To which all four admit their mistake. Along with this, Tom asks them, "Where did you get the gun from?" So Gunshot reveals that Cuz gave them that gun, meaning that they also had a boss. Tom wanted to teach him a lesson too, so he opens the car door for them, and as soon as they get out of the car, a big explosion occurs in the car. Now, at night, he starts searching for Cuz all over the city, and with his powers, he also finds his address. After that, he goes straight to his house and hacks his CCTV, showing a clip on the TV running in his house that he had peed in his car. There are 2 or 3 people in the house who immediately run to the car to see who peed in it, while Tom sneaks into the house from behind. He comes into the house and causes a lot of damage. He breaks the TV, blasts the radio, breaks all the household items. Just then, he finds a large quantity of drugs lying in Cuz's house, which he brings to his own house. Now he had a brilliant plan. He makes small packets of all those drugs and puts them in the houses of all those boys, and sends a message to the police that some boys in this society are illegally supplying drugs. So all the police come and catch them. Along with this, Tom, with the help of his powers, also empties Cuz's bank account to 0. Meanwhile, Tom's grandmother tells Tom, "Lately, you seem lost. You just sit in one place and keep thinking. It seems as if you've gone missing somewhere." But what did Granny know that all the electronic visuals were appearing in front of his eyes? That night, Cuz calls his boss, Ilman, and tells him that the drugs he gave him were stolen by someone. "In fact, now my bank account is also 0. I need some more money and drugs. Don't worry, your goods will be safe, and you will get your profit soon." Tom, standing far away, was listening to his words, and he now starts searching for Elman inside his nervous system. Now he also finds out that this man also has another boss. Going out of the house so late at night and then coming home late makes his grandmother angry, and she asks Tom, "Where do you go without telling anyone? You stay out all night." To which Tom says, "You are not my mother, and anyway, I'm grown up now, so I don't need to ask you where I'm coming from and where I'm going." This makes his grandmother worried about him, and she goes to his best friend Danny and asks him, "Can you keep an eye on Tom? Because ever since he got shot in the head, he's been behaving strangely." And now, since Cuz had already talked to Elman, they were expecting a big consignment. So Tom starts following them on his bicycle, and wherever Cuz goes with his car, Tom keeps following him. But at one moment, Cuz throws his mobile phone in the garbage can, from where Tom stops receiving the signal. But now Tom's powers had become very enhanced, so he hacks the helicopters flying over the city, which were tracking all the cars on the road. Then he finds Cuz too, And while following him, he notices Elman's car in a basement. When he's about to call the police, Elman's men catch him. To save himself, Tom increases the frequency base of that place, which human ears cannot tolerate, and everyone leaves him immediately. Tom runs away to save his life, but due to a stick hit on his head, he falls on the road. And when he wakes up in the morning, he finds himself outside the city. When he returns home, Lucy sees that Tom has many marks on his face. This means he has been in a fight somewhere. Tom explains to her, "It's just these dirty school kids who bother me all the time, but I'll get rid of them soon." But when their eyes turn back, they see that Shotgun has been killed and hanged in the society. It must have been Elman's work. Tom was now very sad because he only wanted to teach them a lesson. He had no intention of taking someone's life. So he goes to the doctor and asks, "Can you remove the circuit in my brain? Because having it is causing me a lot of pain in my head." To which the doctors say, "If we remove it, your brain could become completely dead. Now you will have to live with it." When Tom returns from the hospital, he sees that Cuz's boss, Elman, whom he had been searching for the past few days, is right in his house. But how did he reach the house? To which Elman explains, "Your best friend Danny helped us for a few bucks. He also told us that you are a very special boy who can see and hack mobile rays, signals, and networks in the sky. Now I want you to do all this hacking for me. Take my phone and quickly fill it with euros. And if you don't do this, I will finish off your grandmother and your best friend Lucy." As soon as Tom hears Lucy's name, he tries to track Lucy's phone, and he finds out that Lucy is currently in their custody. But with the help of his hacking skills, he starts operating Lucy's phone and calls the police on 999 to send them there. Now, as soon as the police arrive, Eugene and his best friend hide Lucy behind them. The police find nothing there. Meanwhile, Elman also starts calling Eugene, but due to the presence of the police, they don't answer the call. Elman feels that something must have gone wrong, and he takes Tom with him to that place. But by then, Lucy had gotten hold of a gun, and she gives those three a piece of her mind, saying, "I was with you since childhood. I considered you my brother, and you thought about forcing yourselves on me." Here Eugene says, "Forgive us, we made a mistake." And just as Lucy is about to leave, Elman arrives there with Tom. He beats him badly and then takes the gun from Lucy's hands and puts it to her head. And again, he tells Tom, "Fill my bank account with notes." Then Tom remembers that he can heat up the phone circuits and make them explode, so he causes a blast in everyone's phones present there. But by then, Elman had thrown his phone away with his hands. Now a fierce fight breaks out between them. Tom was just a normal boy, while Elman was bigger and stronger, so he hits his head with many sticks. In the end, Lucy arrives there with a gun in her hand, and she fires a warning shot in the air and says, "If you do anything else, I will shoot you." But Elman still doesn't listen and advances toward her to hit her, which makes Tom very angry, and he combines all the network power there and causes a massive blast, due to which Elman is killed on the spot. The scene shifts to the hospital, where his grandmother was sitting next to him and tells him, "By saving Lucy's life, you have made my head held high with pride." Now, everything had normalized. Along with this, his ordinary life had also begun. When Tom was returning home from school, he meets Danny on the way. He tells him, "Forgive me for telling Elman your home address for some money." To which Tom also reveals to him that day there were not 4, but 5 people. And the person who was making the video was none other than you. I wanted to teach you a lesson too, but you were my best friend, so I didn't take any action against you. Well, now it's best that